Hello. 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 I'm very loud. Yeah, I'm going live now.
Yeah, now people are listening.
Awesome.
5 established audience.
All right, so let's just open our project from yesterday, double click that, and we have this. I don't know why that sound is coming up. Okay. Awesome. So yeah, we were working with this AWOF text and wanted to do something with it. So I said, first, I need to, can you hear me? I'm getting this error that says my connection is unstable. Can you hear me?
I can clearly.
Okay, good. So let's continue. So I said we needed to duplicate the AWOF, right? What's going on? So I'm just going to show the other one. I don't know why my Photoshop is not responding as quickly as I need it. What's going on with this system? Okay, so that's the other one, and this is the one we want to work with. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that, right click and rasterize type. Remember we did rasterize layer yesterday, but when you're working with type, you have to rasterize type. Okay, good. So now we got that. So what we want to do is we want to transform, we want to mesh it. Before we can mesh it, we need to have the transform up. So free transform, Control T right there. Then we're just going to right click and go to warp. Okay, warp is actually the correct word. So what we want to do is this. We want to, okay, let's just go up a little bit this way, a little bit this way, just to make the AWOF thing pop a bit, a little bit this way. And maybe let's take this one way up and way down, like so, and way up like so. So maybe reduce the bend a little bit, just to give it a bit of perspective like that. Okay. I don't know if we have it perfectly as we want it. Yeah, I'm just gonna turn this in a little bit. Okay, there we go. And now I'm gonna write that exclamation mark I wanted to put yesterday. Exclamation, if I can still figure out where that is on the keyboard. There we go. So now you notice that that's a different layer on its own, and that's the beauty of Photoshop. You can be very finicky with things. And I want the exclamation mark to just kind of do something interesting there. Awufu yakata. And we're going to, okay, so we'll probably need to move this here a little bit so that, yeah, awuf. And then we're going to write Yakata underneath it. So what all of this is going to get interesting pretty soon. So I want that to be with a separate text. So I'm just going to use the not Harrier, that's for sure. I've got those baby. So I'm just going to use Century Garlic for that. So now I've combined two fonts, but that's because I'm using a display font here, right? And I know that when I need to write text to the body of this design, I'm going to need a font that's not display font. So that's not a display font, something that can actually work in a paragraph. So yeah, let's do some interesting thing with our AWOF layer now. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to come here to this part that says FX, or just double click here. So those are the two ways you can do. If you come here to FX, this is called layer size, by the way. These are called layer size. I could just select the one I want to do. So the first thing I want to do is go to drop shadow. There we go. You can see already we're getting that bit of shadow going on. Now I want the shadow to be a bit thicker, and I want it to be of this green, maybe the darker version of this green, that about. Okay, so I'm going to increase the transparency all the way up, maybe too much. Yeah, reduce the distance. The distance is how much of it is showing. So you see, the more, if I increase the distance, if I bring it back, so I'm just going to bring back the distance a little bit. I'm going to, the size makes it blur. So I'm going to reduce the size, and then I get something really sharp like that. If I spread it, the spread is dependent on the size. So once I brought the size all the way down, the spread could no longer do much. I want the style I just added. You know what? Let's continue doing more to our AWOF. Let's experiment with some texture. There we go. I've got water, trees, grass. What I would have loved to have is sand. And I think that's the kind of texture I want. But I'm just going to play with some texture here just to show us what's possible. And maybe that. Probably not necessary actually, but let's see what I can get with grass. Okay, now I'm going to just reduce the scale a bit, so makes it tiny. Reduce the depth of it so that it's not so obvious. Sorry. So there we go. We probably now want to make this a different color, so I can add color to it. Notice how I had a color, but this color is not the color in the text because this is no longer text. This is now a rasterized layer. It's no longer text. Let me see if we should make AWOF this color of that pink that she's got going on. No. No. Let's see. That pink. The pink. No. I'm just gonna leave it as white this way. So now I want everything I just did to this AWOF to also come to this exclamation mark. The way to do that is to simply go to that AWOF layer, right click it. I mean the layer, the one you have done all this effects to, right click that and say copy layer style. Then let's come to the exclamation mark, right click and say what? Paste layer style, and boom, see, you've got that going on. Let's see if we can add a bit of stroke to our AWOF layer so that we can control What's going on with that stroke? I don't know if I like the texture. So for now, I'm turning off the texture. Yeah, I don't know why. Okay, I just need to turn off the bezel, but that's why. You know what? I think I'm just gonna leave the bezel on. No. Okay, so no, I don't think we need a stroke anymore. We've got that bevel thing going on, but maybe just a little bit stroke, just a little, and probably with a different color, probably with that dark version of the thing again, or maybe with that pink for my ear. Okay, so let's keep experimenting and see what we come up with. So now I'm just going to copy all of this layer style again, copy layer style and paste it here. And that's going to replace the previous one and have the new thing we've got going on. Good. So I've got that awoof yakata. I don't think that's the way they spell awoof, but that's the way I've chosen to spell it. So that's fine. And I probably want to use yakata here now. Because the yakata is part of the awoof, when you think about it, I think we should still make it display. No? Yeah, I think we should still make yakata display, but probably give it a bit of a distance away from that place. We could, of course, do the yakata to go this way again, but I'll leave you to do that at your own, on your own design. Because the way I see it, I think yakata should be a bit big because of the word itself. The word itself connotes big, but I'm gonna leave it this way for now. So yeah, I think I want yakata to stay. Probably should go with the color of a knuckle here. Yeah, I've got it here, so I can copy it there. No. Okay. So I like to teach with live designs this way, so you can really experience how an artist really works, a graphic artist really works. So I could have as well come with a prepared design, just tell you, do this, do that. And it'll look all interesting, like that's how fast designs are created. But designs are not created with the speed of light. They require a lot of thought, try and error, and that's part of the things I like my student to see at work. Or maybe just return this yakata back to the previous thing. How about that? No, I prefer this. It's commanding. So, yeah, awoof yakata. And now we'll probably need a bit of a copy. Now, let me explain something about advertising, which I already said it, but I just want to show it now. I already said it in one of the audios. So now we've got this header. This now forms your header. We can select these two. We can select all of this together and group it. So the way to do that is select a layer, hold Control, select the layer you want to add to that and the layer you want to add to that. Now press Ctrl G and see right there we got a group, and we can just call that header. Rename that group to header. We can also lock that group so it doesn't move. So by locking it, we can no longer select it. Notice that we can no longer select it. Awesome. So it's probably one of the things you want to be able to do. And that gave me an idea. Just now that I moved all that around, gave me an idea. And I think, no, not that. Here's the idea. So yeah, in the latest Photoshop, if you just drag this way, everything is going to be dragging proportionally. The way to just drag an edge, the way to scale and make sure that you're only scaling from an edge is to hold Shift and just drag that way. So I think I'm just going to break up our flyer into this two-step thing and go back to, I'm going to unlock all of this, go back to our awoof, and that color I was dreading to give it before, Now I think that color is going to make a lot of sense to do. Okay. And we're going to copy all of that layer style one more time and paste it on this, on the question, on the exclamation mark. Probably the exclamation mark should go in a different color. Maybe go in that Yakata color. So let's just do that. Let's select this color and go. There we go. Awuf Yakata. Awesome. So it's looking good now. Let's add a bit of a shadow too to that Yakata so that they're breathing together. Nah, but not that kind of shadow. You know what? I think I just want to add everything we've got going on the question mark. I want to add that to the Yakata. So I'm just going to right click and copy layer style on the question, on the exclamation mark, and and paste that layer style on the Yakata. So that way I get the whole thing right back. And I think I want to just reduce the distance of the shadow on everybody. So I'm going to go back and just go to the distance and reduce that. No, I think maybe, yeah, and probably change the color of the shadow to what shadows usually are, black, right? Yeah, let's just do that. I'm not sure I like the black thing. And then reduce the opacity this way. Bring it back a little more. And let's reduce the opacity. Okay, good. So now I think I'm going to do the same thing with the shadows. Now I think I like the shadow of the Awuf. Well, probably just reduce. No, I like the shadow. Yeah, if anything, I want it to be a little thicker and then change the blend mode to normal instead of that overlay. The size, no way. Spread, no. So good. I think I like this. No, there we go. No. Yeah, all of these are technical things. So let me just change it back to the default for now. And I'm going to just select this and go to its own drop shadow tool and do that. So all the way up, bring it back a little bit, just like so, and change this to normal. Okay, so awesome. This is looking good, looking good, looking good. Okay, so now let's get a bit of a logo going on there. The thing about design, about advertising design is it's got to follow the rule of advertising or follow the definition of advertising, which is what? There's got to be an identified advertiser. So I'm just going to go to my file system here and look for my brand logo. Hold on. Brand, no. Go to exports. Yeah, I think I'm going to use the yellow version of my logo since it kind of works with the rest of the composition better. Or no, I think I'm going to use the black version. But to change that, I'm just simply going to come here and select replace content. And yeah, we're going to have to do all that file work again. So you go ahead and use any logo you want though. And I'm going to change it to that black and boom. That's the way to simply replace things in your document. So I'm saying Awuf Yakata and yeah, what else we want to say? Yeah, by okay. Get okay, so because the color we've selected here is white, hence we're typing with white. So I'm just going to change it to that one. There we go. And let's bring down the font size so everybody can see what we're doing. let's change that to around 18. So I'm just going to say get unlimited data for okay, price is going to have to be different. The price is going to have to come a bit different because that's something important. And let's change the kernel to 0 so that this looks open. Let's select this Gothic light, something very contrasting like that. So get unlimited data, and I'm going to bring this lady down a little bit because now I just want to tell a bit of story here. Get unlimited data for just so now we're going to write the price. I'm going to use pound. I'm going to use pound to so for just 20K, and I'm going to use that previous font again. Turns out this font has become really important to our entire design. I didn't think it was going to be that important. So I'm going to take this header and make that a bit smaller and move it up this way. Yeah. And then we're going to have this whole get unlimited data for just 20K. And I want to do something interesting with that. So I'm just going to give that 20K a bit of a background. I'm going to select this layer under the 20K so that when I do draw something, it's going to draw below the 20K. Like so. Yeah, my system is a bit slow this evening. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so we can come here to the properties and change that color. Yeah, let's use the color so that the 20K can be white. And change that color and just select the white there for just 20K. Okay, so I'm going to right click this, select skew. I'm just going to move this up a little bit and make this a bit interesting to cross the line there. Put just 20K. And then I'm going to write Ctrl T on the text and rotate the 20K just to line up with what we've done there. There we go. And then this is going to be the price. So I'm going to select both together, right click and rename that group to what? Price. And make this bolder a little bit like so. So the last thing we need, should probably have made this a bit of a curvy edge since we have this old curve going on. That's fine. And we probably should have a bit of a, let's see what a bit of shadow would up. Okay. And let's see inner shadow. No, too much of that. Yep. Let's just bring it out of it. No. So too much. I just want to gloss the edge a bit. Okay, good. So now it looks like I've dropped a box there and I've put the 20K inside. So let's add a bit of texture to it. So there we go. So it looks like it's a real box. Awesome. Good work, good work, good work. Awesome. Okay, so now it looks like I've got a box there and I've got the 20K in the box. Awesome. Okay. So I think I'm just going to say save, get unlimited data and save 20K and save. I'm going to say save here. So that ties with the look of our design and save 20K. And I think I'm going to rotate and make this work with the flow of this one. Okay. Get unlimited data and save 20K. I think now I can make Awuf Yakata a little bigger. That's the header. Can make that header a little bigger now. Awesome. So now the last thing we need to tie everything together, the inner shadow is still probably too dark. Okay, it needs to be a bit darker. There we go. So I think the last thing we need to tie everything together is a call to action. In every design you make, there should be a call to action. That is what is telling people what to do. Otherwise, your design will be a beautiful rubbish. A beautiful design that doesn't really tell the people what to do. Every design, especially if it's advertising design, has to tell the people. It has to tell your targets what you want them to do. So right now, I'm just going to say, download the app. We want them to download some sort of app. I'm just going to say, okay, maybe for this, let's move out to the side this way, right? And then compose the rest of our, let's compose the rest of our story this way. This is getting busy. I didn't plan it to be busy, but that's fine. And I'm going to say download. If I can still spell download. So why we're typing a bit of a paragraph there, but it's all clumped together because of this thing. This is called, while this is called the counting, this is called the leading. This is the height between each line of your text. The rule I use is, if I have a text, say if my text size or my font size say 18, then I make sure that my loading, which is the height between my paragraph, is somewhere close. We need to make this a bit bigger, or at least do something to it so that it lines up here. I'm going to do that later. Yeah, I was saying something. Yeah, I always make sure that so I'm just going to go online here a little bit and just do App Store. Okay, so basically this is what we need. And I'm just going to select a nice looking one. No, not you. I think this might even be PNG. So this would be nice. So we can just come here. I'm just going to go here and select this series. Okay. And just download that. It's a very light file. So I've got this. Yeah, I've got this bad background going on. Okay. It's a learning opportunity. So now I'm going to do something with this. Hold on. Okay, so let's just bring this to the top. I'm going to right click and convert to smart object. I'm going to double click into that smart object, which is just going to give me this. Then inside here, I'm going to right click and rasterize the layer. Now I'm going to use W to select my magic wand. I'm going to tap on this and backspace and Control D to remove that and save. Then I'm going to close this smart object and come back here. Boom. See what we get. Awesome. Okay. So we probably want to reduce this font where we have, probably want to make that around 14. So it reads on one line. I don't think it's good. Download the TLC app now. Probably want to make it even 12. So this whole thing isn't saying anything about TLC app so far. And normally the best thing would have been to compose a bit of to mock up an app into something, but that's going to take our time. We don't have the time for that tonight. Okay. Let me see if I want to bring this whole thing back and let's see how that looks for us. How's that looking? Okay. So if I take all of this price thing, Control T, so that's easy for me to move, and I bring it here. And I put this one right next to it, right? Like so. If I hide this, yeah, okay. Then I can do our awufia kata to kind of start from the edge and go to the right. Okay, so I think I can make this. Oh, well. Hold on. A bit bigger. Awufia kata. Nah. I think the thing is I should just hide this and keep it clean. And then bring all this back to the center the way it was. I'm just going to undo. Yeah, bring that back to the center the way it was. Let's see if we can get this to come back to initial rotation. All you have to do though is, where is rotation? Sorry, just 0, okay? Okay, the 0 is set to the format. Okay, we're gonna have to eyeball that then. Probably not, we don't need to even edit it. We can put it under here. And yeah, I think I want to just remove the inner shadow. There we go. Save 20K. Maybe remove the drop shadow like so. Okay. So everything is flat and nice. And we bring this down. Okay. Let's click this. The reason I'm getting that warning every time I try to do some, use the free transform on this layer, this particular is because it's a smart object. So whenever you're using transform on smart objects or doing most things, you're gonna get that warning that okay, this is a smart object. You temporarily get out of the smart object, and then you just confirm that you temporarily leave in the smart object. I think I want to convert the old design to a flat thing. Probably leave Awuf Yakata to look like that, but I think I want to convert the rest of it to flat. So there we go. I'm just going to remove the bevel. So here's what you can always do. You can always turn off all these effects one by one by using this eye. You can always turn them off one after the other, just to get a different look at things. Let me see. Let's return that Awuf. Yeah, I like that bit of texture going on, but that texture is not replicated in the rest of the page. Let me see. We said we didn't want to put a texture here before, but I think we probably need a bit of a texture. I'm just going to use a drop shadow. I don't need it, but just for me to get in there. And let's just give that a bit of a texture. There we go. Okay. So now we've got this. Yeah, we're going to get that again. So we've got this bit of texture going on now in the old design. So now it looks like this lady is backing a wall. And that's interesting. I like that. Let me just come to this color and see if instead of that, maybe we could go with white. So that, or maybe stick with everybody. No, go with white. Let's see. So instead of that green, we're going with white. No, I don't think the white does it. So let's go back to that. No. Just go back to our clothing. There we go. So we'll probably want to just increase the size of that stroke a little bit so that so we get more of that. Give me audio if you're just coming in. Let me know that we're together. And I think I want to return the bevel here too. Awesome. So yeah, I'm just returning all the bevel I had on them. Maybe just add bevel to that Yakata, but nothing else. There we go. Okay. And that. So now that is looking dead a bit. So I'm going to use the bold version of it so I can read it. No, let's leave it that way. Hopefully, maybe just turn it to the black color and select black for me. There we go. Okay, so now it's readable. So we have come to the end of our first flyer. It's a very simple one, but it's good to start with simple things like this. Mr. Oduayo is still trying to come in. All right, so I think I'm just going to stop here for now because I've decided that it's best I just take these classes bite size rather than load us up with so much in one class. I feel like yesterday's class was a bit overwhelming or something. There was a lot of information thrown at us all at once. So I'm trying to correct that. So let me know if that's a thing. Yeah, I think I want to just give that a bit, maybe increase the size a little bit. No, I think I like the whole sharp thing going on. Okay, good. Let's do that to the exclamation mark there. There we go. Okay, so now we pick color from that logo, increase it a little bit, and just increase the size just a little bit to soften it out. Okay, so give me audio. Any question? Yeah, I can lobby. Give me audio. Any question?
Question.
Huh?
I don't have any.
What did you say?
I don't have any questions.
Okay, so how's it looking? Is our design looking good?
Very good.
Okay, so simple.
Put one question.
One question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, how do you put those logo of Google Play and App Store there?
Okay. Were you not in class when I did it?
I don't think so.
Oh. Okay. No problem. I'm gonna show you where I got it from. I just want to make these guys a bit more imposing, like take up more room. There we go. Yeah, imposing, like so. And I'm gonna just take the price and they get this and just move them up to meet the rest of their friends, like so. Okay. So now our flyer looks full and imposing and the message is clear. Let's bring this girl in a little bit so she ties to the rest of our story. So yeah, how did I bring this in, right? This one. So to do that, I simply went online, right? And I typed App Store and I got all of these images. And I think I went with, which one now? Which one did I go with? Hold on. I saw one that appears to be PNG. It wasn't PNG eventually though. I think I went with this one, right? So I got this and then I right click and then I save that image, right? And once I save that image, just the way I've showed us yesterday, I come to where that image is, I dragged it in like so. But then it had this background, right? It had that white I didn't need. So to do that, I had to right click and convert that to smart object like so. Are you getting that? Then once you convert to smart object, look at that little icon you got there. Look at my mouse, follow my mouse to that little icon. Then I double click that and I was able to come in here and look at the thing with smart object is like giving you another room, keeping your project is like keeping a particular object in one room, but then you can go into that room and work on it and come back to the living room where you have the rest of your project and still see it. So it's like keeping a reference of it, and whatever you do to it, whatever I do here now will then take effect here. So what I did was I had to first right click because this is a smart object, but not Photoshop smart object. I don't even need a smart object at all. So I had to first right click and rasterize that layer so that I get just a simple object. Then I came here to my magic wand. If your magic wand is not here on this number 1, 2, 3, 4, on this fourth, just right click and then you're gonna select the magic wand. And then I select that white part. I use backspace to remove that. And to remove this selection, Control D. I save that, Control S, and then I close that, right? And now look at it. That background is gone and everything is gone. So do you get it now? Give me audio. Do you get it?
Yes, I do.
Good. So that's how we're able to do that. And that's our flyer. No fuss, no nothing. We're not going to add more. The only thing I want us to do, okay, before we finish off our flyer, I want us to give this lady a bit of a shadow since we seem to have this wall, since she's backing a wall, right? So let's put a shadow of the lady on the wall. The way to do that is to duplicate this lady's layer. So this is the layer. I'm just going to rename that and say lady, okay? Maybe lady with phone or something. There we go. So let's come to layer, new layer, and layer via copy. That is, we're duplicating, or we simply come to edit. I want to see if we can do it in edit. We can't do it in edit. So layer, there should be duplicate. Strange. Okay, yeah, there we go. Duplicate layer. And you can just rename it. And we're gonna rename this to ladies shadow, okay? And boom, enter. So now we've got that shadow. We've got two of our now, right? Let's bring this one down because shadows have to be behind. What we want to do with this one is we want to right click first. Okay, we don't even need that. Okay, so what we want to do is, first of all, I want us to change this background layer to black.
What?
So we'll change this background layer to black because we're going to need that. Now, this is something you've not done before, but if you watch the videos, you probably did it. We need to like make a selection of this lady, but we're making the selection of this duplicate. You know what? Let's hide this lady first. Let's hide this top one. Let's hide it. And then to do that, we need to hold Control on our keyboard and click into this space here. Click that. And that's going to give you this selection. What you want to do is we want to fill it with this black, right? Want to fill that selection with the black. There are two ways to do that, but we're just going to focus on the second way. Control backspace. Control backspace is the way to fill a selection with the background layer. So now we've got that black of R going on. First thing we want to do is we want to come here, filter, want to go to blur, apply blur. No, not that blur, sorry, undo. Let's come to filter. You know what? Let's just go ahead and convert that to smart object so that we can always go back if we mess something up. So filter blur, Gaussian blur. So you see that's going to give us that bit of a blur going on there. That's fine. So what we want to do next is reduce the opacity. We're just going to repeat because it's going to be a shadow. Then this top layer that was hidden before, we want to just reveal it again. And notice now we've got a bit of a shadow going on. If we want to do it that the shadow is a bit that the light is casting from an angle, then we're going to go to that shadow layer and just with our keyboard and hold shift, just move it slightly. And now that's it. It's casting a bit of a shadow. We could increase it to get more shadow or reduce it. So I'm just going to reduce it very well because I want just a soft shadow going on there. So there we go. So this shadow is thick. If you didn't want a thick shadow, you could just remove that Gaussian blur and then you're going to get this really sharp shadow of us. That means the light is powerful. Or you can return the Gaussian blur, double click into the Gaussian blur and reduce the amount of blur you've got going on. So if we reduce the blur, we're going to get a better and softer shadow. And I think the blur is not enough now. So we're going to go into the blur again and just make it around 23. Let's see. Okay, so I think that's better. And I think I moved it too much. So I'm just going to move it back a little in. So that way we've got a bit of shadow going on. So yeah, that's the last thing we're going to do to our design. Just give that lady a bit of shadow there. Because the wall is she's got to cast a shadow on the wall. And because she got that shadow going on, let's make the shadow tie into the wall a bit more by applying the blend mode multiply. So that shadow is going to look a little more greenish. Oh, sorry. I'm just moving that. Okay, so that's the end of our flyer. Now to save our flyer, we could just come into File, save as, and select JPEG. There are better ways to export, by the way. The standard way is to come here to export, but this is just, for me, a really long way of doing something simple. But the thing is, you can always do a bit more customization here. See, now this is taking so long and I have to wait for it. Okay, see, the color is a bit bad. And why the color is looking this way is because we're in CMYK mode. So it's trying to save this as CMYK and all that. So I want JPEG, yeah, not PNG. So you see the color won't be as sharp because it's saving it to be printed. So quickly, because I want the color to retain this quality, I'm just gonna go back. I'm gonna come to image and change the mode to RGB. Don't flatten, don't rasterize. There we go. So now I have changed our image, our design to RGB. If I go back to export now, I think the color should look better. And I think I want JPEG, not PNG. Good, see the color looks better now. So I'm just going to say export. It's still gonna give us this. This is why I wanted to come in the first place. So now we're just gonna say design exports. These are the stuffs that are gonna go on our platform. I'm just gonna say save. And see, this is a really long way of doing it. That's why I prefer my way. File, save as. I go into that space, I select JPEG here. I save, replace that. It gives me this option. I make sure that it's maximum, it's 12, and I say okay. And this goes boom. That's all. I saved it. So I don't need all the waiting. So yeah, we've come to the end of today's class. Any question? Give me audio. Let me just show us what we did. So let's just view our design as a picture. So yeah, so we've got a bit of a problem with our design. The texture is too much. So we're gonna go back to fix that. The texture we're using is a bit too much. Although if we wanna go for this, fine. The other thing is we're gonna have to tie the lady into the rest of the design. But that's not what I want it to be. So let's just go back and edit our design a bit. First of all, we're gonna need to probably turn off the effect here because we had noise going on anyway. You know what? Let's come to it. So let's just go to bevel and emboss there. The texture thing we got going on, and apparently our texture is there's too much of it. Or let's just reduce the opacity of our texture. How about that? Maybe that help. The depth of our texture should be around, yeah, maybe around 22 or even 20. So yeah, of course we can choose different ones here, but let's keep it with the inner bevel we added before and smooth. Okay, so we reduce the opacity like so, and we're gonna do the same for everywhere we've used a texture like here. Let's go and just correct that emboss and bevel thing to 20. Then we use 20. Yeah, the size probably reduce that because it's a bit big. And the opacity, we brought that down to around 10. Okay, so let's do it on the Yakata and every other one there. Again, here we want to bring down the size a bit, bring this to 20. I think that was 20. We made that 20. We want to reduce the opacity. to 10. There we go. So we do the same here. Sorry, this is a bit laborious. So yeah, so 20 for the depth. And here 10 for the depth. And I think that would do. And finally on Yakata. Now we're gonna re-export our work and see if we're looking better. And yeah, 10. Boom. Save. Now I'm gonna use save as again, but with shortcode Ctrl+Shift+S is gonna come up with my save as. I'm gonna select that, and I'm gonna select JPEG and this and that, and enter, and boom, and we're ready. And come here now. I'm just gonna preview it again. Okay, now that's better. That's what we wanted. We wanted that bit of texture going on. So that's what we wanted. My battery is getting low. Okay, so I'm just gonna throw this in the group because that's what we did today, and I'm gonna put it. So if anyone wants to put that in the put or try that out, finish flyer, very simple, very simple. There we go. Okay, so that's the end of today's class. Once again, any question, Akilabi?
No, sir.
Okay, I've got Boom Travels and Tours. Who's that? Any question? Give me audio. Hello, Boom Travels and Tours. Give me audio. Any question? Okay, so they're not gonna give me audio. All right, we've come to the end of today's class. I'm going to stop my share now. And I'm gonna end the recording.